Hey, I'm Kai from Flamenco Explained. In this video, we're going to do a mic shootout between 4 dynamic mics, 4 kind of classic mics. Well, 3 of them are classic. One of them is a little oddball. You're definitely going to want to stick around for the plane, which is all done by our friend Jose Fermín, who's one of the hottest young players at the moment. A lot of folks will tell you that dynamic mics are more for stage and condensers would be more for the studio, but I don't necessarily agree with that. Certainly, dynamic mics make a lot of sense for stage, like absolutely, because they're less sensitive, so you get less feedback and they're just easier to work with. But I really think they also have a place in the studio. I really wanted to hear the difference between these mics for myself. So the setup, it's not quite scientific, but the only variable is the mic, right? It's the same preamps, which are the ones in the AKG Ensemble, same converters, same room, same performance, right? So really the variable is the mic and the distance. You know, the capsules are arranged as closely together as I could possibly get them without the mics touching. So yes, mic placement is a little different between one and the other, and that's another variable. I chose to put a little reverb on these for a very practical reason. For me, I wanted to hear if I can hear a difference once I've added a little bit of reverb. In the real world, if you record or if you play live, flamenco, you're gonna put a little reverb on that. And if the reverb masks the difference between, you know, a very expensive mic and a very inexpensive mic, that's a really good thing to know, I think, when choosing a mic. So let's take a look at the mics. First one, you probably own one of these. If you don't, you should. Shure SM57. This is probably the most popular mic on the planet. It's around $100. Maybe they're 110, 120 now. I don't know. I haven't bought one in a while, but this is like the classic stage mic. And if you are starting out, you should probably own one of these. But this is probably one of the least expensive, best mics you can possibly own. The next mic is what a lot of people say is the grown-up version of the SM57, right? This is the Beyer M201. This is actually a mic I used performing a lot. I love this mic. I should mention, the Shure, the SM57 is a cardioid. This is a super cardioid pattern, right? So it's not exactly apples to apples. But, you know, these are, I think, worthy mics to compare to one another. The next mic is this beautiful thing, which is the Sennheiser 441. This is considered by many to be like one of the best dynamics ever made. These are great mics, a lot more expensive. This one will cost you, I don't know, 8 to 10 times as much as an SM57. This also has a super cardioid pattern, so it's a tighter polar pattern. Again, not the same exact polar pattern as an SM57, but these are classic dynamics, and I think it's fun to hear the difference between them. The final mic is an oddball that I happen to own, the AKG D224, right? This is an old mic, not made anymore, and it's got a really interesting design because it actually has 2 capsules, one for the highs and one for the lows, and it's a dynamic mic. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of check it out, compare it to these more, well, none of these mics is particularly modern, but this is probably the oldest of the bunch. So let's take a listen and see if we can really hear the difference between these mics. So what did you think? Do those other mics really beat the venerable SM57, or is this really all you need to record flamenco? It's a great question, right? Because you can spend a ton of money on microphones, but you can also get great results from some really inexpensive gear, and this is the perfect example of that. So let us know in the comments if you think the price difference is worth it between this and a 441.